Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event that you would like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Tuesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. And now the news at noon. Reported by the Journal, Colorado State Patrol photo. The occupants of a car that went on an estimated 300 to 400 feet off of Wolf Creek Pass after the driver fell asleep are expected to survive thanks to seatbelts. Colorado State Patrol Sergeant Blake White said authorities received a report of the crash around 3:45 a.m. Saturday near mile marker 162 on U.S. Highway 160 near the hairpin turn on the west side of Wolf Creek Pass. White said that the 2008 Volkswagen Touareg, a small-sized SUV, headed west, went about 300 to 400 feet off of the edge of the highway. Authorities determined the driver, age 49, Richard Coy, had fallen asleep at the wheel. Coy suffered moderate injuries. A passenger, Courtney Delgado, age 41, suffered serious injuries. Both were transported to a hospital. He did not immediately know where Coy and Delgado were from. Colorado State Patrol did post to social media that the couple's injuries could have been far worse. Quote, "Please use caution, and this should be a reminder to not drive while sleepy," the post reads. Thankfully, the occupants were wearing seatbelts, which most certainly saved their lives. White said Coy was ticketed for careless driving. Reported in the Journal, U.S. Senator Michael Bennet, Democrat of Colorado, invites residents of Dolores County to meet with a member of his Colorado staff. That's from noon to 3 p.m. on Monday, November 18th at the Dolores County Public Service Center, 8477 Road 7.7 here in Dove Creek. Senator Michael Bennet invites those who need help dealing with the Department of Veterans Affairs, the IRS, Social Security Administration, or another federal agency to meet one-on-one with a member of his staff during the upcoming office hours. Community members with suggestions for Congress to families or communities are also encouraged to attend. To schedule an appointment during these office hours, you can email Janet Wolf at janet_wolf@bennet.senate.gov or call them at 259-1710. Include the session name, address, phone number, and a brief description of the issue to be addressed. And from the Durango Herald, a 27-year-old Cortez man died on Sunday morning on U.S. Highway 160 after hitting a semi-trailer head-on. Colorado State Patrol Sergeant Blake White said authorities were alerted to the crash around 7:30 a.m. on Sunday near mile marker 32, a few miles southwest of Cortez. Authorities say Sheldon Jacobson was driving a Subaru headed south when he crossed the center line and hit a northbound semi-trailer head-on. Jacobson was wearing a seatbelt but died as a result of his injuries. White said alcohol is a suspected factor in the crash. The driver of the semi-trailer had no injuries, but a passenger in the vehicle did suffer minor injuries. Both were wearing a seatbelt as well, White said. It was also reported statewide that there were 6 fatalities on the Colorado roadways between 9:30 p.m. Saturday and 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. CDOT reported that alcohol was involved in many of those incidents reported. And now let's take a look at our weather. Today's weather is sunny with a high near 50 degrees. Southeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 26. Calm winds shift to the east around 5 miles an hour. Wednesday, another lovely sunny day with a high near 56. Light and variable wind becomes northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour in the morning. Wednesday night, it's clear with a low around 30. North-northwest winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming northeast in the evening. And again for Thursday, similar weather outlook. Sunshine with a high near 57. Calm winds becoming southwest around 5 miles an hour. Then Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 34. For Friday, we're showing partly sunny skies and a high near 58. So warmer with a few clouds rolling in. Friday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 32. And next weekend should be another great pair of days for outside. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 56. Saturday night, mostly clear and a low around 27. And for Sunday, cooling back a bit, but still sunny with a high near 51. Sunday night, mostly clear and a low around 28. So another dry week, but mostly mild November temperatures with no gusty winds so far on the horizon. And now back to the news. And from the Journal report, With a photo, Jim Mimiaga. The Dolores Town Board will make a decision today at its Tuesday, November 12th board meeting regarding a retail marijuana moratorium that expires at the end of this year. There are three options, said interim town manager Ken Charles. Trustees can extend the moratorium, they can vote to allow or ban retail marijuana facilities, or the matter can be put on the ballot for residents to decide. If approved, the town would need to develop regulations required under state statutes and could add some regulations of their own. The process would take 6 months to a year before any shops could open. The moratorium would have to be extended until regulations are in place. And under state rules, a transaction fee can be added by towns for retail marijuana sales, but the fee must be approved by voters. It was suggested that if there were a ballot question, approval should be contingent on the transaction fee also being approved by the voters. Quote, otherwise, marijuana sales could be voted in, but we might not have the revenue benefits from it, said board member Val Trulson. The board held public meetings on the issue and conducted independent research gathered from towns of similar size that allow pot sales. Quote, we've gone through the information gathering process, said Dolores Mayor Chad Wheelis. The pros and cons have been presented, so at some point we need to make a decision. The town has also been discussing the issue with Mancos and Cortez, which both legalized retail marijuana. The Mancos Town Board voted to approve the sales, and the Mancos voters passed a $3 transaction fee that generates positive revenues for town projects. If Dolores decided to go forward with pot sales, board members said earmarking additional tax funds should be discussed. It could be allocated specifically for things like open space, recreation, tourism, education, or public works projects, said trustee Jan Stark. Funds could also be earmarked for marijuana prevention programs targeted to youth, added trustee Cody Folsom. Also, trustees discussed extending Charles's contract from 6 months to 1 year. Otherwise, there would be a manager transition during spring, a busy time when there is a board election, construction of a new community-built playground, and land use code revision. And reported in the Durango Herald, courtesy photo, Jessica Reel. Leading New Mexico legislators reaffirmed support of a historic energy law while denouncing state utility regulators for slowing the process and challenging their authority. This happened last Thursday. The Energy Transition Act, passed by the New Mexico legislature this year and signed into law by Democratic Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham in March, set goals to divest from coal and support new state investments in renewable energy. The law includes funds to lessen the economic burden on communities affected by the transition to renewables. Yet the Public Regulation Commission, which oversees utility, communications, and motor carrier companies to ensure fair and reasonable rates for consumers, is debating whether the law applies over their ongoing assessment of the Public Service Company of New Mexico's plans to close the coal-powered San Juan generating station in 2022. During Thursday's legislative hearing of the Water and Natural Resources Committee, Democratic House Speaker Brian Egolf said PRC challenged New Mexico's legislative authority and overstepped its authority when it decided not to implement the law in its entirety. Egolf said state utility regulators have caused costly delays by questioning parts of the ETA, which the legislator pointed out had already been debated and signed into law. Leading environmental groups and supporters of the ETA worry the delay could jeopardize funds to communities like Farmington, which will be hurt by the generating station's closure. Included in Thursday's legislative panel was one of the law's most vocal critics, New Energy Economy Consumer Group. Executive Director Marielle Nanasi testified that PRC, quote, must balance the interests of consumers and the interests of investors. She also claimed that the new law unfairly requires ratepayers to shoulder the cost of the transition to renewables and allows PNM shareholders to avoid accountability to consumers, which is overseen by the PRC. The New Energy Economy, Nancy's group, has challenged utility companies' proposals to recover lost investments at the San Juan generating station. The ETA allows utility plant owners like PNM to recover investments through bonds that are eventually paid off by utility customers. Yet many backers of the law say the ETA plan to transition away from coal would save ratepayers money. Deputy Director of Clean Energy for Western Resources Advocates Steve Michael, who also testified Thursday, said it was an opportunity to remind legislators of the good provisions within the bill. Quote, this was a bill that really did set a benchmark for other states, Michael said. Nevada and Colorado passed similar legislation shortly after New Mexico, according to Michael. A major misconception surrounding the ETA Michael said is that PNM's shareholders won't contribute and the burden will fall to ratepayers. The ETA also requires utility companies to have half of their electricity from renewable energy sources by 2030 and 80% by 2040. 5 years later, a 100% carbon-free mandate would kick in for utility companies. Supporters of the bill, like Jim McKenzie, co-coordinator of the 350 New Mexico, say compromise was inevitable for the bill to pass with the support of environmental groups and utility companies like PNM. 350 New Mexico was one of many groups consulted within the drafting process of some of the ETAs. The law's supporters say that the alternative, namely the lack of $40 million towards community support, would be worse for the state and communities involved. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. November 13th, there will be a Coffee with the Journal at 9 a.m. at the Bean Tree Coffee House in Cortez. Join the Journal staff members as they gather to answer your questions, listen to your story ideas, or discuss how decisions are made at the locally owned newspaper. Join some of our team members for a free cup of coffee and conversation, they say. Attendees will include Richard Ballantyne, chairman of the board, Trent Stevens, senior editor, Robert Meyerowitz, opinion page editor, and Claudia Laws, audience development manager. November 15th, Onward Celebration Luncheon will be held at 12 p.m. at the Baymont Inn and Suites in Cortez. They look forward to celebrating a year of outreach in our community, including awarding the 2019 grants. Please RSVP by clicking the tickets link for this free event on their Facebook page, which is linked online. And November 14th, join Canyons of the Ancients Guest Ranch for a storytelling afternoon with renowned Southwest author Craig Childs. It's a free event with limited seating. Please RSVP to them through the link online at canyonoftheancients.com. The ranch is located in Cortez. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is DCTV News at Noon, so you can look up phone numbers and dates. We also upload the daily news to our YouTube channel, which you can search for with the same name, DCTV News at Noon, and the broadcast is also posted to the general Facebook page, where we add links to stories of interest, share other events or news, and where you can join in on conversation. This is your local community TV station, so if you have something you'd like to share, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com, or you can call us at the station at 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in. News at Noon now airs at noon Monday through Friday, and then is available on demand online on our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to, and posted to our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. We would ask if you would please like us there and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Thank you for watching.